Make sure I got everything muted. And we are live after a commercial. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're... Wait. Now, hey everybody. After the advertisement plays, make sure you watch it and love it.
It's too bad it's not like the Saturday morning after these messages. We'll be right back.
Yeah, something a little more creative.
Little claymation dog and the fire hydrant.
Woof. That was always the good stuff.
Yeah, back when they tried to teach us stuff.
Bah.
They would try to sell us toys through cartoons, but then they'd also try to teach us stuff so they could sell us toys through cartoons.
I used to love the little vegetable guy that got drowned in the cheese. Talking about snacks, like eating healthy snacks.
Right.
And he was like a big advocate of broccoli, but then he would end up in the cheese with the broccoli, and then start gagging and stuff because it was basically drowning in the melted cheese.
Don't put too much cheese on.
Which, until that commercial, I personally had never thought about putting cheese on broccoli. So,
For real? Oh.
they failed, is what I'm trying to say.
Because they brought the idea to you and you're like, oh, this is brilliant.
Because I enjoyed broccoli as a kid, so...
Yeah, broccoli's nice. A little bit of butter and salt.
You don't need butter.
Oh, just a little bit. I'm not talking about Paula Deen here.
Yuck. I haven't watched the old G.I. Joe PSAs from E-Bomb's World in a while either. I need to go back and watch those.
Yes. Body massage.
Stop all the downloading. I'm a computer.
No, it's crazy. Is all that stuff went viral before, the internet really had an understanding of what that meant.
I know. Ooh, can you hear the thunder?
Yeah.
That's how awesome this mic is. Nothing is hidden. Ever.
I like how you covered up for yourself by acting like it's raining outside.
Anybody else hear that thunder?
Almost sounds like a wrestler comment. Can you hear the thunder?
Yeah, it's the thunder.
Every now and then, go ahead.
What else would it be, right?
Right. I was gonna say every now and then the thunder out here makes my cats a little skittish. And they act like running into the other room will make a difference.
Well, it's clearly safer in there.
Right? I heard the noise in this room. It must not be in the other one.
Nobody ever said that cat logic was sound logic.
That's true.
Clack, clack, clack. Hopefully the lightning will stop.
Yeah.
It's the one thing you don't have to deal with in California.
That's right.
You might shake to death, or be in a mudslide, or burn to death, but it ain't gonna be because of a lightning storm.
Yeah, nature has many other ways of taking care of you in California.
That's right. True that.
Doing close-up so you don't have to draw the cave background.
No, I wanted to do sort of the classic, because you know this guy has the dragon arm, you know,
Right.
and so they're about to head out of the cave. So I wanted to make sure he covered it up.
Time to suit up.
So I had him. There's this cave is like littered with a myriad of skeletons from various times and places and things, and so
Right.
he just grabbed. I had him grab a armor off one of the skeletons. Although I'm seeing an issue that must be fixed. That one goes there. Oh, look at this. It's going to go right in the tangent. Well, that was better than I thought it would be. Invariably, that always happens.
Well, when you're good, right?
Hi, puppy. Oh, they can't see you, Rusty. Sorry, buddy. No, nobody can see you. I'm being attacked by my golden.
Here's Jingle Jangle.
Yeah, he wants love. He wants love from the stream. Yeah. Rusty hype.
Hashtag Rusty.
Yeah. You're gonna be the star, aren't you? Yeah, I should put the camera down where you can be on too. And just like that, I'm not giving him what he wants, so he bails. It's all the animals. Alright, let's see. That's a little too much. Let's get rid of you. Boom. I'll probably still end up doing my corner thing, but we'll see how big that text gets first. Actually. Let's follow this on to completion here. And also switching brushes. Hairy hands. We'll knock it down a little bit on the back side. Did you see the Trolls trailer?
I haven't yet, but I keep hearing the Justin Timberlake song.
Yeah, Inkerbrush. Yeah, I just watched a little bit of the trailer, and of course Cartoon Brew was like, you know, wow, it's an actual cartoon from DreamWorks for their 27th film. But I was more taken aback, like, wow, 27, holy moly.
I know. It's like, whenever I look at, like, my IMDb page, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, huh. That's a long list. You know?
Yeah.
When you start adding in all the half-hour videos and all the side projects.
Well, I was like, for 27, I mean, that starts with, you know, Prince of Egypt, of course, because they're talking about DreamWorks
Right.
proper. But, I mean, we were there for a good many of them.
Well, and most of them had, like, at least 2 sequels.
Right.
You know? So that adds up. You know, it's like you think about Madagascar, but you don't think about how many Madagascars there were.
Oh, I do.
That's true. Probably still haunt you in your sleep.
Oh, I do. Oh, I do. I still hear kids every now and then going, Afro Circus.
Oh, I still get a chuckle every now and then thinking about furry crowd meetings.
like how I'm doing the bubbles before I even know if the text is going to fit. It's just a hunch. Super Pro Comics, kids. Super Pro. Is that going to fit? I don't know. Let's just try it and see. Okay.
Well, they're all vectors, right? So you can just scale them, make them fit.
No, these aren't vectors.
Oh. No good.
I could use a vector layer. But then I wouldn't have all these brushes.
That's true.
Actually, you know what? That's a good question.
Could you vector your bubbles and still get the same effect?
How many licks does it take?
Oh, Mr. Al.
Vec test. Here we go. Vec test initiated. Let's see what it looks like when you try and ink with a vector. Vector. You can see it. You can see it shift a little bit. I don't know if you can see that in the stream, but it changes my stroke slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. What does that look like? Probably looks pretty weird on camera going through and doing like the...
Yeah. Looks about the same to me, but I'm not an educated fellow.
No, I'm talking about me with my arm up in the air trying to see exactly how the fist looks.
Oh.
I'll fake it.
Yeah.
Knuckles going back, yeah. Thank goodness he's only got 3 knuckles. Art savings.
I wonder who the first one was that dropped a finger off of, like, cartoon characters.
Well, Fleischer maybe? Fleischer Studio? I mean, Tom and Jerry were... I mean, you got to go back. I think even Disney, I mean...
Well, I mean, it's such a part of, like, the standard, like, expectation, almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Except for, like, in Legend of Bill, all the characters have... all the human characters have standard human hands.
Mm-hmm.
But the magical creatures I tend to make a little bit different.
Well, see, that actually makes sense.
So now the question is... Okay, so you've done a vector layer. Now, what can be done with it? Look at that. My. That's rough and tumble right there. That's a lot of data. Holy smokes.
That's because it's capturing how the stroke was made.
Yeah. And it smoothed it a little bit, but now that is interesting. So that's the control point. I wonder if you can just grab and edit. Oh, what? Can I make that bigger? That's a little weird. It's weird that it doesn't pick up some points, but it does others. Oh, you see? No wonder it's per stroke. So it's not combining all the strokes.
Oh. So you're grabbing individual strokes when you're making changes.
Yeah. So that long one, it's more indicative there because you can see it all the way over.
Well, I guess that's not too surprising, because how would it know to... I mean, how would it combine them, right? You would have to go and do that as a step after you did the drawing.
Yeah.
Or you just draw all in one movement.
Look at that. You can change the That's some interesting tools, man. Now what's this gonna do? That was supposed to be the connect. Well, it did what I expected it to do for the most part.
That's a lot better.
That's a pretty powerful tool. I wonder if the memory footprint's the same, like for the document size.
It can't be. It has to store all those points, right?
Yeah, but I assume that it would be cheaper because you're just storing a mathematical equation for the line as opposed to for the vector, as opposed to pixel data.
Right.
So wouldn't that be cheaper and smaller?
Yeah, I would think so, right? Because you would, there has to be places in there where you're going from point A to point B as a line, right? Where you're crossing multiple pixels.
Yeah.
So instead of saving it, each individual pixel there, it's saying, okay, I'm going from A to B with this thickness. The only way, I guess, that would be bad is if they had a whole bunch of extra metadata that went with it.
Yeah. You just went like totally Mr. Roboto there for a second.
Doing computations in my head.
It's funny how it still does not want to let go of that endpoint. Like you can manipulate it along the way, but it does not want to let go of that endpoint. Now, how does erasing work? Oh, and look at that.
You're going Roboto too.
Oh, I did? Now let's see if we can paste this back. Oh, I did it. It's another vector layer. Well, I think it's probably better to stick to raster for a lot of this.
Yeah, you're probably not going to take advantage of the vector too much.
No. I mean, I could see it being handy and definitely handy on occasion, but for the most part,
Well, if you're doing cell that you didn't know what sizes to be printed at,
yeah. That'd be different. Let's go back over here.
is that hair on his knuckles?
Yeah.
Excellent.
See where I put the scars and scratches and whatnots. Boom.
Do you have like one scar that you've chosen to be like migratory?
I'm sure there will be.
Just not on purpose.
Well, it's just like anything else. The first time you draw like the scalloping and the armor and stuff, you know, it's like, yeah, this is great. I love this. You do it 100 more times, and you're like, man, who needs it?
Right? Well, that's like what I like some of the shows I watch where somebody gets beat up. You're like, well, how many frames are they? You know, they leave them beat up because they're going to have to remember all those differences.
Yep.
Especially when somebody's like been trained to draw this person, you know, 100,000 times in a week, and have to make it just slightly different for 5 seconds.
Okay, now. Quit being cheeky. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
It's not gonna work on this time. I have to do it like that.
Have you found yourself still getting faster using the tool, or have you pretty much like hit like your stride for the software?
It all depends on the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the characters are just harder to draw than others.
Right, right. That makes sense.
But you know, and plus, like with Bill, I always have to kind of check up because it's not my original design.
Right.
Because I'm drawing David's characters, so I always have to like kind of just make sure that I'm crossing all my T's and dotting all my I's. Whereas this guy, it's muscle memory at this point for a lot of stuff. I would like to get more subjects going where I can draw them full body though.
Mm-hmm.
Some more actiony stuff because the formatting, the traditional formatting here doesn't really give you much opportunity for like full body, sort of action oriented stuff.
Well, that you only really have 3 frames to do anything, right?
Right. Yeah. Which is part of the, that's part of the charm and the skill and doing comic strips is getting that giving that restriction to yourself,
Right, right. I guess the extreme is you have just a circle to work in, and it's whatever clever words you can put on the outside to make it work.
Yep. Thought that looked a little large. I love drawing this guy. Nigel, the magical tortoise.
Yeah, and he's sort of simple shapes when you look at them.
Mm-hmm.
But they come together they come together well.
I hope so. and the fact that he's a total cheat, like with the glasses, you know.
Right. You don't even put the bridge in.
No, just put the two giant eyes up there, knowing that he's like one of the smallest, most powerful characters. Blind.
He's so powerful he doesn't need a bridge for his glasses.
That's exactly right. I'm gonna change brushes. This is the effect I get to try out all the crazy brushes on. Oh, you know what I did last time too that was cool? This. I did it on the actual ink layer. So it did like a... I want it grittier than that though. That's kind of cool.
Oh, nice. This almost reminds me of using pastels in art class.
That's pretty much, yeah, what it's emulating. It's funny because, you know, I don't always get to do the color on these, but I try to think about it like I'm gonna do the color. So I end up, you know, like looking at stuff going, no, that'll be fine when it's colored, but it looks like so stark and just like outliney when it's not, you know?
Right, right.
Kind of drives me crazy. Oh, I can tell it wasn't on the right layer. Wait a minute. So it's like I want to go in and do, at least add a little bit of rendering with the quote-unquote ink, you know? Just a wee bit. And then do way too much. As you do. I've still got to finish reading Monster Musume.
Yeah, its first season is a lot of fun because they do a good job of setting up all the characters. And have they introduced the defense squad yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
But it's like the second season's going to be interesting.
yeah,
I mean, or well, second book maybe.
yeah. Well, they've got a lot more characters. Yeah, I want to read it. I'll have to get it. But yeah, Agent Smith has a defense squad that she runs too. Since humans aren't allowed to injure monsters and vice versa,
Yeah,
they have to police the monsters. They have to have monsters to do it.
like a squad of monsters maybe.
Yes. So she has her monster squad.
Wolfman's got nards. I haven't watched that movie in a long time, but I'm pretty sure it would not hold up. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the only thing that will make it hold up and make it better than it is if they try to remake it now.
Ugh. I heard
Then you'll be like,
I heard the Fall Out Boy version of the Ghostbusters song, and it made me sad. I'm not a Fall Out Boy hater either, you know.
right, right. They're an interesting choice for the band to do it, but
Well, I mean, they kind of do, you know, like fresh, funny kid superhero rock now, you know, because they were the title track on Big Hero 6,
all right, right.
and then they did that bit, you know, that one song they had using the Munsters theme.
No, I don't remember that, but I'm sure I can find that on the interweb.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know the Munsters theme.
Yeah. I just haven't paid attention to Fall Out Boy in years.
Yeah. I hadn't paid attention to Fall Out Boy since The Simpsons.
I mean, it's not like they're bowling for soup or anybody like that. Or Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba. uh, so let me understand this. You get knocked down, but then you get up again. Is that what I'm to understand?
That is correct, sir. And nobody's gonna knock them down. Yet they were just knocked down.
Did you ever see, speaking of Chumbawamba and drinking songs, did you ever see The Kingsman?
I don't think so.
Oh, you should
No.
check that out. That's a pretty interesting movie.
A lot of good drinking songs in it.
Well, it's just there's a lot of cool stuff that they do in there, but there are quite a few scenes in pubs, like in English pubs.
I see that. That reminds me. I saw some YouTube videos of people singing traditional shanties, sea shanties. You know,
Yeah,
and I guess that's a thing still. Like there's people who get around, who gather once a year and have like a shanty off.
and I say more power to them.
Right? And the great thing is, it's like the shanties are all so old that like you show up and everybody knows the song.
Right.
So it's just like one of those music videos where everybody sort of gathers and able to sing along, as opposed to going, "Wait, isn't this the first time you've heard this?"
Oh man, I gotta find that other brush I was using. Oh, that's a bummer. That guy?
Don't be that guy.
Not that guy. That guy? You know what? That guy could work though. Oh, here. Break my cardinal rule. Go out past 50, past 100. Nope, not big enough. Too much. Easy text. Easy.
They announced a second season for Blue Exorcist,
Oh yeah, that's the other one I've got to read.
which is interesting because they finished the storyline in the first season.
They
So-
finished a storyline.
Well, I mean they pretty much finished the whole, like, you know, his main motivation and everything for doing what he did, and, you know, the bad guys got beat. You know, it was basically, you know, they, you know, the anime went past the source material
Yeah.
and completed the story. So now they're like, well, what are they going to do now? Are they going to do a Full Metal and just redo the whole thing? Or are they going to come up with their, you know, completely different storyline? You know? I mean, he fought the devil. It's not like there are other... like, how much bigger a foe is he going to fight second season?
You don't know.
It's true. Now he'll fight God and everyone else.
So now what we need to do, dupe this and rasterize and do that. Working with text in Manga Studio is tricky.
I bet.
It's not its forte, let's say.
Do they at least have Comic Sans?
They do have that.
Well, there you go. See, you can do everything you need.
Luckily enough. What they don't have is the ability to manipulate a non-rasterized text layer.
Mm.
So you have to rasterize to be able to do anything with it, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because that kind of commits you, you know? But you can put a lattice on the text, which is cool.
Well, that's pretty cool. Being able to squish it up like that.
So that works pretty well. Go back there. Boom. Blind joke.
I didn't see that coming.
Zing.
That's why you keep me around, right?
That's exactly it. That was it.
I've earned my keep.
Where did you go, Lando Calrissian? There you are.
Does this brush have more swagger?
It does.
Pretends to betray you?
You watch it. That was not Lando's fault.
That's why I said pretend. He didn't actually betray him. I'm sure he felt very tore up inside.
And he did say this deal was getting worse all the time. That's an amazing Robot Chicken where they do that. And Vader keeps coming back, and he's like, and I want you to ride this unicycle.
Right.
And he's like, this deal keeps getting worse all the time. And I want you to wear these clown shoes. Finally he's like, you know what, this is a pretty good deal. I like this. Alright, I think we got us a strip here. New armor, ready to go. Arm hidden. And we can finally get out of this cave. Hot dog. Alright. And it took like almost an hour. I'm getting down to the nitty gritty here. I can usually knock one of these out in about an hour, so cool. Alright everybody, thanks for hanging out. If you weren't in chat, if you were lurking, awesome. See you next time. And I'm gonna kill it in 3, 2, 1.